what we're going to do today is we're going to grade the top 10 picks in the NBA draft. I would do 1 through 30, but we don't got time for all that. It's going to be a 4-hour podcast.
1 through 30 will be nuts.
It would be sick, but we don't have time for that today. So the top 10, plus a couple other extra picks I thought were worth talking about, we're going to grade them. First off, we got the Hawks picking Ricochet at 1.
I can't give this an F because this is the guy who they wanted since day one, apparently.
You look like you're giving it an F when you were on Hustle Highlights crying.
I wasn't crying. Those were tears of joy. You don't know how to read emotions. That is the issue, my brother. I would go ahead and give this a solid C for sure, because when you think about number 1 overall picks, they do not match his profile and what the Hawks project him to be.
Man, that shit is so dire and lazy to me. I'll give this an A. They needed players that can fit with Trae Young. They're not a normal team picking at 1. They have a star. You're not going just best player available. You're not rebuilding. This guy fits with every team you want. He's a big wing that can shoot. We pretend it's not valuable all of a sudden because it's not a Paolo Banchero pick. There's no Wemby in this draft. This is a perfectly fine pick for a team that's trying to win now.
I think if that's the case, then you go ahead and clearly trade back and you get as much assets as possible. Then, that's the right way to go.
Trade back to what, 2?
Trade back to whatever it is you want, because you can go ahead and settle for players who are similar archetypes as him.
There's a reason every team was trying to pick this guy top 2. He's going to be valuable and he's going to be good.
He's going to be good for sure, but I think there's other ways to go ahead and achieve the skill sets that you want. But I still think he's going to be good. I just personally will give this like a solid
6'9",
C.
great shooters don't grow on trees. I don't know if there is any other ways to achieve that.
I'm giving this a C because
haters.
It's a number 1 overall pick. I think you're undermining
emotions
what
guiding
a
you.
true number.
No, it's
not emotions. It's a number 1 overall pick.
That's just straight emotion.
It's clearly
It's a number 1 overall
it's the
pick.
backup plan. That's what it is. Because if the Hawks really had their pick, right? If Alex Sarr didn't dump him before the draft, they would have taken him. But Alex Sarr was like, "Nah, I'm actually good," and they were like, "Okay."
If they wanted him, they could take him.
You went to their second option because you were scared about Alex Sarr, and it's okay. So it is what
Alex
it is.
Sarr is not Eli Manning.
C+.
He's not going to demand a trade if you pick him. They could have picked Sarr if they really believed in him, and I think they just liked the 6'9" shooter that doesn't grow on trees more.
That's what they told themselves. I bet you they feel the same way. They were like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I like him as a prospect overall because every single team would literally thrive with him on the roster. But when you just think about a number 1 overall pick and what it's supposed to
That doesn't
represent,
mean anything. That means nothing.
If it means nothing, then we won't have picks in the draft. What are you talking about? Number 1 pick, there's value to that because you have first dibs on picking someone who can genuinely change your franchise. And this guy right here is not.
Nobody in this draft is changing your franchise. Is the problem?
Players could. You never know. What do you mean? You're speaking too soon.
This is a perfectly fine bet.
You're speaking too soon, and I disagree with
And
that.
you're speaking too soon on Ricochet. I think.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying this is a solid C. It's not A like you're making.
It is not. It's not.
Yeah, you're saying A, that you're blowing it right now.
It's not A.
It's a perfectly B+, whatever you want to call it. This is a perfectly fine pick.
He also has no swagger. Like the suits.
All right.
So I'm dropping him down just for
My bad. I didn't cry for aura in my pick.
Come on.
Yeah, no.
Next pick, Alex Sarr, going number 2.
This is an A. This is an easy A. I mean, you have no one competing for his minutes. You have someone who, again, matches a profile which what they're tending to go for: length, tall, French. There you go. He's your guy.
Yeah,
French is on their scouting report for sure.
I'm going A because this is a really good combination of best player available and fit with our roster right now. Obviously, the Wizards are in the rebuild. Everybody fits.
Yeah.
But like to have a good foundation defensively is really important. And so I think that this is a good pick for them.
Yeah. They were in the perfect scenario. There's 2 elite guys at the top everybody wants that are valuable in their roles. You get whichever one isn't pick number 1. You have no stress in your life because you pick whoever's left for you. Got to be an A.
Exactly. No pressure. So good pick. Good job, Washington.
Look at you.
You guys were aggressive all night.
Yep. Number 3, Reed Shepherd going to the Houston Rockets.
Is this a back-to-back A?
For me, this is a 3-peat. Another A. This is the clearest prospect pick in the draft. They have a million guys down the roster. There's so many prospects on the Rockets right now. You don't know who's going to rise to the cream of the crop, but whoever it is, I guarantee you Reed Shepherd will fit well with them. He fits well with everybody.
If anybody was going to come into the league immediately and perform, Reed Shepherd has to be on the short list of guys. Like he's a shooter and shoot, and he's going to go in and help the Rockets and improve their shooting in the backcourt. Not potentially, he will be a piece for them to build on in the future. It's going to be good.
Yeah, when your best players is a post hub, picking a DHO hub guy like Sengun, and then athletic guards, picking the best shooter in the draft is easy.
And if you're a team like the Houston Rockets, which apparently don't know if he's genuinely the guy for the future, Sengun, you can do whatever you want. Whatever plan you envision them leaning towards in the future, Reed Shepherd is applicable to every single plan.
Exactly. Next up, at number 4, Stephon Castle going to the Spurs.
solid B. Could call it an A. I might call it an A because of who the Spurs are and what they value. Size, defense, obviously, that comes first and foremost because they don't believe they can get far without that. So I call this an A for sure.
I'll go B. There's a world where Stephon Castle's made it clear he wants to be a point guard. If that works out well and he can be your lead playmaker, this becomes an A because we're looking at Drew Holiday. But there's some concerns about the shot, the playmaking, the first step. That's enough to weigh down to B to me. He has a high floor, but the ceiling is still TBD.
They needed anybody who can bring the ball up 94 feet. Stephon Castle can at least do that.
He can dribble, all right.
I think this is an A. I think it's an A.
No, bro, if that shot comes around, this is Drew Holiday. This guy's going to be so good.
This is a solid A. Even if the shot never comes around, he's still going to be a very productive NBA player. I don't know if he'll be able to maintain the starter status or whatever. But even without the shot, he possibly could, depending on the rest of the construction of the roster.
Sounds like a B to me. High floor, but the ceiling is TBD.
I give it a B+.
Fair enough. Number 5, we got Ron Holland going to the Pistons. Unexpected, but kind of dope.
Listen, I'm happy for Ron Holland because I like him as a prospect. The fit is going to be crazy. Nobody can shoot in Detroit. Just like for everybody in this draft, if the shot comes around, this is A+.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how this is going to work with him, Ivy, Cunningham, all the guys over there in Detroit. So I'll give them an A- because they still did get the best player available at 5.
Him and Asar might be generational clamps, but it also might be generational ass if neither of them learn how to shoot because you cannot play them together.
Yeah.
So we're swinging for home runs here. This might be amazing or it might be a total flop.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would go ahead and give this a B. You got, of course, Asar, Jaden Ivey, Duran. Like you said, a whole lot of non-shooters. Yeah, you're right. But he looks cool, though. And
real jacked. Nice shoulders.
Okay.
He passed the aura test.
Reminiscent of Andre Drummond, I guess.
Yeah, we were like, oh, he's got giant shoulders? Dwight Howard. That's the scouting report.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. They have a lot of guys that can't shoot, but not all those guys are worth prioritizing. So if you can get the best player on the board right now that was slipping for no reason, you take him.
Yeah.
I'll go A- with you. Next up, at number 6, Tijan Salon going to the Hornets.
They needed a difference maker, like pretty much day one, if not already, bro. I don't like this because he's clearly a project pick. He shot like 37% in his last basketball league from the field, 32% from 3. Scary hours, if you ask me.
I'm going F. I think this pick was horrendous. Not that there's a world where he can be a good player. If the shot stays around, if he can shoot threes at that 6'9" frame with a huge wingspan and can harness that athleticism defensively, he can be a good player. He can also be Kevin Knox. And I think you can take that swing, but if you're going to do it, trade back. He would have been there at 10. He might have been there at 14. Picking him at 6 when you know damn well he wasn't going to go at 6 or at 7 or 8 if you passed up on him. To me, it's malpractice, and you could have got more value out of this pick.
Yeah, this isn't about him.
Exactly.
Right? It's more about the Hornets needing somebody who can come in day one and produce for them. And
it's just where he was picked. Like, if you're going to take a swing, don't take the swing at 6.
Yeah, he very well could be a great player later on in the future, but it doesn't matter. At this point in time, it's about the decision behind the idea to go ahead and take someone like him. It's the decision, the idea that they were brewing in their head.
And they allegedly turned down more assets to make this pick.
Yeah. Yeah, Woj said the Trailblazers were trying to trade up to pick Klingon. They picked Klingon next. So that means they called and were like, hey, we want to go to 6. We want our guy. And they were like, no, you're good. We're not going to take him.
Don't worry about it. You're good, bro.
You're chilling. Like, what kind of stupid ass GMing is that?
Yeah.
It's dumb. So I'll go D.
Yeah, I'll go D because the player within itself
I don't want to be too mean.
But it's not about him.
That's
Again,
fair.
It's about
I just hate bad process, and that's horrendous process to not trade back a little bit at least and get some kind of asset.
They had the opportunity. It's just
I'm a fan of big swings, so I don't hate taking him. It's just the value proposition is not there at number 6.
I agree.
Now number 7, we got Donovan Klingon going to the Blazers.
It's an A for me. I really like this pick for Portland. I think that for a team that is still in the rebuild and you have a lot of assets on your team with contracts that are tradable and that can help other people, Klingon can shore up your big rotation and he can be a great defender day one. And it allows you to be more flexible with the rest of your roster to go get more assets to keep your rebuild going.
Exactly.
I like it.
And yeah, it makes it so you can immediately trade Ayton and Robert Williams because you have your big of the future. You can get more assets, get more young guys. they're going to be able to be big sellers at the deadline, and that alone makes them in a really great position. If he can be this Rudy Gobert Redux clone, then even better.
I agree. This is not a bad pick at all, bro. Again, consolidate. They're going to have to make consolidation trades, like you said. There's no way this pick ends up being bad in any light.
Yeah, he might be the highest floor prospect in this draft. He's going to be a good rim protector, probably no matter what.
Somebody in the West has to stop Zach Edey. So
exactly.
The Blazers got their guy.
Please.
Number 8, we have Rob Dillingham going to the Minnesota Timberwolves via trade from the Spurs.
The Timberwolves just made the Western Conference Finals.
Oh my god.
And they selected a top 10 pick. It's an A. It's an A.
Immediate A. This is what you do when you're a contending team and you have future assets. You cash them in now, get better, while also getting younger and having longevity to your core now that he can replace Mike Conley in a couple years and he retires. A+++. This is an amazing deal.
Your starting point guard is 65 years old. You needed a backup plan, and they went out and they got it.
This is quite literally like a great way to go ahead and usher in the next generation. And speaking of the next generation, I'm not gonna lie, I'm calling it out right now. Rob and Anthony Edwards, they're gonna get glazed to oblivion.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's gonna be nasty.
What are they gonna call them? So like, I'm thinking of like Disgusting Brothers from Secession. They're like the Aura Brothers.
Yeah.
They're calling,
we'll think of something.
They're calling Dillingham Dilly right now, which is kind of hard.
We will have a name by the end of the summer.
We'll get our back a little bit. Yeah, man. It's a great deal. Number 9. Zach Edey going to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Take the floor.
Go ahead.
This is a steal of the draft. A++. It's going to be a star. I love it. No, but in all seriousness, this is a great pick. You have an interior force that has some of the most strengths we've seen from a prospect in a long time, and you have the perfect big next to him to hide his weaknesses. It's a home run swing for me. I think it's great.
I absolutely agree, bro.
Good job. This is your guy. You can have the floor.
I love Zach Edey.
Ja Morant is going to love this dude, love all the escape passes when he has nothing to do, when he just caught up in the paint, just throw it somewhere like you said. Zach Edey is there.
The Grizzlies are going to be one of the best teams in the NBA, and we're going to look back in a couple of years and be like, how'd this happen? It's because we let Zach Edey fall to them.
Thanks.
Them screens, man. Damn.
Those screens, those offensive rebounds, those rolls to the rim, those post-ups. He's going to be a better shot blocker in the NBA than he was in college. He's going to be great.
I agree.
Man, the Grizzlies are going to be in the conference finals next year.
They are.
They're going to be amazing.
Top 2 seed in the Western Conference?
It's them and the Thunder, I think, and the Nuggets, obviously. That's the top tier.
God, man.
Next pick, at number 10. Who at number 10? I forgot. Oh, yeah. We have Cody Williams going to the Utah Jazz.
The Utah Jazz.
This is an A.
Quiet winners of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? For me, it's either them or Minnesota in terms of winners. And they addressed a whole bunch of needs. They got a lot of talent. Cody Williams is a great player. We believe in the entire Williams family, right? We're big J-Dub fans over here. We're big C-Dub fans now.
Yep.
Good job for Utah. I like this pick. A.
Dub Nation.
Yeah, there's no way in hell that this pick right here ends up being bad in any light. Even if he doesn't reach up to his potential, the cutting's still there. The defense that he could possibly go into is going to be valuable. And the shot eventually, you have to predict, is going to come around. So
I feel like I'm giving everybody an A. Like, somebody's not going to hit. I don't know. It's not going to be Cody Williams, though. This guy, I think, is really good. Got slept on a little bit because of strength concerns. People saw he's really light, really skinny. And they're like, oh, God, I don't know if I can pick him that high. Mm-hmm. I think he'll add on weight just fine. I'm not concerned about that at all. He's an efficient scorer. Could be a good defender with that length. It fits perfectly next to somebody like Larry Markkinen.
Exactly. I 100% agree.
Damn, A's on A's. Tough. Number 11. Modest Buzelis going to the Chicago Bulls.
I'm sorry, today. It's an A. They were able to get the best player available. This is a guy who was mocked to go 5, and they got him at 11. Right? You got him in the second half of the lottery, and for the Bulls, hometown kid, somebody who also, if the shot comes around, can be amazing. But even if the shot doesn't become Steph Curry-like or elite shooting, Modest still does a lot of really, really good things. And you just need new, interesting pieces in Chicago. Yeah. And so for that reason, I'll give it an A.
And nobody in the top of the draft fumbled. Everybody did what they're supposed to do, like
except for Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte. My bad. I forgot we shit on Charlotte. But outside of that, and listen, we didn't grade the Spurs for trading out of 8. That's debatable if that was a good move or not. But almost everybody did some good moves up here.
Usually the Chicago Bulls end up doing the stupidest thing that you can imagine. Every single time, they never let us down. They're so consistent when it comes to doing that. But this is right here. was generally a great one because, of course, like the length is there for him. If the shot comes around, we're having entirely different conversations about him, and we're gonna look back in the draft and talk about how he should have been top 3, minimum.
I'll go B+ though because he's a boomer bust player, and they're in such a weird spot with the organization. Who knows if they're thinking long term or short term right now? If Modest can shoot, star in the making probably. Good chance he can't shoot. If he can't shoot, you just traded for Josh Giddey. You already got Kobe White who has to play on ball. If he can't shoot, you're looking at somebody who's gonna have a hard time fitting next to your other young pieces. So it's enough of a swing that I'll go B.
He's just Lamar Odom.
Yeah, type shit. Lamar Odom would not be a good fit with Josh Giddey and Kobe White. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We should not be making decisions about our future.
You're goddamn right.
Centered around Josh Giddey.
You're goddamn right. We shouldn't be. And they're not. That's why they picked him. Yeah, one more pick I want to throw on here. Steal the draft. Dalton Connect going at 17 to the Lakers. What are we grading this?
I mean, this has to be an A because he, again, was projected to be like a back-end lottery talent. But I'll let you go ahead and take it. What do you think?
I just think this is going to be the next great white shooter in NBA history. I think we drafted potentially the GOAT, potentially JJ Redick with HGH hormones. I think we just transform our team overnight. We have the savior, honestly. I think it's up from here. Him and Austin Reeves are going to be...
Savior's crazy.
The savior,
Him and Austin Reeves are going to transform this team together, hand in hand. Disgusting brothers. It's going well.
Oh, man, this is going to be white boy summer for real. You lit right now.
No, I mean, he's obviously great. He fell. The Lakers had zero connection to Dalton Connect in their scouting department because they did not think this guy would be available. They were blessed to have him fall to 17 in a way they never expected. He's an immediate fit. They needed shooting, and they needed backup big. They fixed one of those right now with one of the most dynamic shooters in the draft who could contribute immediately given his age. You have JJ Redick there, who is the preeminent off-screen shooter in the last 15 years in the NBA. He can draw up plays to fit this guy perfectly. It's a hand-in-glove fit.
I'm proud of you. You no longer don't have to watch Cam Reddish minutes anymore. I went through that same pain and struggle.
So did he.
Oh, you did? Damn. Oh, my God. Trifecta. That's crazy.
Cam Reddish is going team by team with the Grim Reaper.
Also have to watch Rui Hachimura minutes, at least not as much of it this upcoming season.
I know I will. That's not changing here.
JJ Redick will do his thing. And it looks like going to be on the side.
And we got JJ, we got Austin Reeves, we got Connect. We're trusting him.
Who's next?
We're trusting him.